On October 29, 2012, a natural disaster that would become known as Superstorm Sandy slammed into the Jersey coast. Long Branch was punished badly, suffering damaged and lost housing, flooding of roadways and buildings, destruction of property, loss of electric power, etc. The Boardwalk, the engine that anchors the tourism economy, was devastated. At just over a mile long, the sunbathers and shoppers and visitors that use the Boardwalk added vital dollars to our local economy. But now the Boardwalk was almost completely gone, as well as the oceanfront service road that provided access to the public, bicyclists, and municipal service vehicles. The earthen bluffs that had provided the natural support for the Boardwalk and service road were either completely washed away or else compromised by the pounding of the storm surf. Meetings between city, state, and federal FEMA officials began almost immediately. The goal was to bring back a stronger boardwalk to the beachfront, using storm-resistant building materials and designs, a wider boardwalk with better lighting, and multiple access stairways and ramps to ensure easy entry for families and persons with mobility challenges would be built. 2 pavilions for beach attendants and clothing changing rooms for visitors, and another pavilion to provide snacks and drinks for visitors would be included. The Long Branch engineering staff began work with Leon S. Avakian Engineering and George Harms Construction Companies to finalize the design and construction plans. Much time was spent during the design phase to meet the stringent requirements of FEMA and NJDEP. On June 4, 2015, ground was officially broken with a dedication ceremony attended by Long Branch, FEMA, and other officials to start one of the largest Hurricane Sandy-related reconstruction projects. After the onslaught of Superstorm Sandy in October of 2012, Long Branch officials rapidly began planning for the reconstruction of the boardwalk. After extensive design specifications to gain the mandated approvals from FEMA and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, ground was broken on June 4, 2015 to start the project. After removing the wreckage of the destroyed boardwalk and the associated debris, a clear work area was designated to begin the restoration. Starting from the plain earthen berm that the boardwalk is built on, work on the project started at the west end section of town and proceeded north to Pier Village, the northernmost reach of the project. Having already delivered and staged the heavy equipment needed, work began immediately. The work site began to receive all the materials needed, and the work site was then mobilized. Protective fencing was put into place for the safety of the public, and partial street closures ensured clear access for construction vehicles. The first priority was to regrade and stabilize the earthen berm, which provides the support to the boardwalk and service road. Once this was finished, the important job of re-establishing the bulkhead began. Huge steel sheet pilings were driven into the ground to back up the jetty rocks, which provide the first line of defense against storm surges during a weather event. Beginning at Brighton Avenue in West End, The new bulkhead of steel sheet pilings and jetty rocks began to take shape as work progressed north. Next, the huge wood pilings that would support the boardwalk itself were to be driven into the top of the earthen berm. The supporting beams that connect the wood pilings were then put in place. Materials for the boardwalk were being delivered and staged: Trex planking, light poles, railings, conduit for electric and water service, and the materials and fixtures that would be needed for the 3 pavilions that would become snack concessions, beach bed stations, and restrooms and changing stations. The project progressed north from Brighton Avenue past West End and Howland Avenues, and continued past North and South Bath Avenues, and finally to Morris and ending at Chelsea Avenue. Work continued on the wood pilings and cross structure that would support the boardwalk, and then it was time to start laying the boardwalk itself. As sections of the boardwalk planking were finished, the associated job of installing the railings and light posts began. Work started on the access stairway and ramps that would ensure that everyone would be able to get onto the beach, no matter their mobility concerns or challenges. Gentle slopes and wide turnarounds added to the functionality of the ramps. The 3 pavilions started to take shape. After finishing the outside, work began installing electric service, plumbing fixtures, and venting systems. The needed amenities that would be provided made sure that everyone would be comfortable. Landscaping was begun, and one could almost see the final vision taking shape. Overall, work progressed smoothly during the fall and winter of 2015. City officials were hoping to be mostly operational by the summer of 2016, and their hopes were realized. A ribbon-cutting ceremony to commemorate the opening of the new boardwalk will be held during the early spring of 2016, with almost everything finished by Memorial Day. The next and last installment in this 3-part series will include putting on the finishing touches for the project, the ribbon-cutting ceremony to mark the opening of the boardwalk, and the public's introduction and first use of this fantastic community gem. After the devastation of Superstorm Sandy in October of 2012, city officials immediately started the process of organizing and then meeting with state and federal officials to begin the immense project of reconstructing the Long Branch Boardwalk. With the City of Long Branch Engineering Office directing the work efforts of Leon S. Avakian Engineers and George Harms Construction Company, work commenced on June 4, 2015, with a hopeful groundbreaking ceremony. Work proceeded smoothly during the fall and winter of 2015 and continued through the spring of 2016. On April 11, 2016, a ribbon-cutting ceremony was held to celebrate the reopening of this great asset to our community.
We'd like to welcome everyone to the ribbon cutting, the official ribbon cutting of our new boardwalk. Long Branch is a unique municipality. I think we all agree to that in many ways. But one of the things that we do possess was our biggest challenge in rebuilding this structure. We're standing now approximately 30 feet above sea level. There's no other town that I'm aware of on the Jersey Shore that has this elevation. That's a wonderful thing, and it protected us during the superstorm. Unfortunately, our bluff and the area that we're now standing on took a tremendous beating. Now, it is time to call on a gentleman who promised last June that he would be here in shorts and flip-flops when we cut the ribbon. And true to his word, the mayor is here in his shorts and flip-flops. So without any further ado, let me call on Mayor Adam Schneider.
Thank you. It is a good thing this wasn't done in February, because I would have shown up in shorts and flip-flops. Sometimes things come out of my mouth before I think, but I do try to do them anyway. That's not always the smartest thing, but this is easy. It's summer down here in Long Branch right now. we're all on the boardwalk. We're all at the ocean. And for a lot of us, that's why we live here. It was a frustrating couple of years, but I'll tell you who I want to thank, particularly last summer when every day you heard the pounding, are the people who lived and came down here and never complained. A lot of people who live up and down, from last June till about October, these pilings were being pounded, and I don't think any of us got a complaint about it. And people understood. And then everybody kept talking about how beautiful it looks and how excited they were, and here we are. Sandy hit in October of 2012. 13, 14, 15. 3 of the best revenue summers we've ever had in Long Branch. There's only been one better than that, and that was the summer before. So this year is going to be the best summer ever. Today you can go on the beach for free. But we're going to start, our summer people are in place, they're ready to go to work, and they're all very excited because we're going to have summer of 2016 starting right now is the best summer ever in Long Branch. Thank you all very much. Everybody ready? We're open.
In the weeks following, finishing touches were put into place to get ready for the summer of 2016. The northern and southern ends of the boardwalk were nicely connected to the surrounding streets. Bike racks will be installed shortly, enabling residents to stop and rest, eat and shop as they bicycle the entire length of the boardwalk. Parking spaces have been painted to add capacity, but there will be no paid parking meters for this season at least. Cement pads have been installed to secure garbage and recycling containers, and benches are to be added as well. The pavilions are being finished and readied for their final inspections before they're open to the public. The food concessions, clothing changing rooms, and bathroom facilities are wonderful amenities for the public's convenience. And so the summer of 2016 is here, and the Long Branch Boardwalk is back and better than ever. Come visit, walk, and enjoy the Jersey Shore at its finest.